At 58 years old, Nicole Kidman finally revealed what Keith Urban did that made their divorce completely inevitable. For 19 years, she stood firmly by his side through struggles that would have destroyed almost any other relationship. She endured the endless late nights, the intense public scrutiny, and the heavy battles that most marriages simply do not survive. Together, they built a life the world thought was entirely unshakable, but then she suddenly walked away. The public immediately assumed she had simply outgrown him, choosing her massive Oscar-winning career over her husband. But here is what almost nobody knows. When Nicole sat down for her first interview after the split, she dropped a single sentence that completely changes how you see every photograph they ever took together. To understand what went wrong, you have to look past the red carpet glamour at who she really is underneath. Before Keith, Nicole had already survived a high-profile divorce where the world unfairly blamed her. She promised herself her second marriage would be different, vowing to be the fiercely loyal protector no matter the cost. But what happened just 4 months after their wedding nearly shattered her completely. Just 4 months into their marriage, Keith checked into rehab for addiction. Instead of walking away, Nicole drove him there herself and stood firmly by his side. That unwavering loyalty became the foundation of their next 2 decades as they raised 2 daughters, Sunday and Faith, while splitting time between Nashville and Sydney. On stage, Keith called her the reason he was still alive, and it looked like a perfect fairy tale. But beneath the surface, a quiet pattern was slowly eating away at their relationship. What was happening when the cameras stopped rolling? The secret to their survival always seemed to be distance. She was often on another continent filming major projects, while he was touring the world for months at a time. They told the public that the space kept the romance alive, but by the summer of 2025, that breathing room completely swallowed the marriage whole. Keith suddenly moved into a separate residence, and it wasn't for a tour. The woman who had spent 2 decades being the steady anchor was suddenly left entirely alone in an empty house. And that is when everything completely fell apart. On September 30, 2025, Nicole Kidman officially filed for divorce. The headlines painted her as the cold superstar walking away, but the actual reporting revealed a heartbreaking twist. Insiders leaked that Nicole desperately wanted to save the marriage, fighting for it until the very last second. It was actually Keith who had checked out first, claiming he felt trapped in what had become an obligation. The man she had saved 19 years ago was the one who let go. After years of bending her career around his needs, what did she say that stunned the world? In January 2026, Nicole finally broke her silence. She didn't blast him, and she didn't write a tell-all to settle scores. Instead, she quietly admitted that she had retreated completely into her shell. It was the absolute exhaustion of a woman who carried a marriage on her back until there was nothing left to save. It mirrors what we saw with Deborah Lee Furness and Hugh Jackman, where decades of unwavering loyalty still wasn't enough. Ultimately, Nicole chose her own dignity, vowing to always move toward what is good. At 58, she finally stopped fighting for someone who had already left.